Yes, it's a very good morning. That's right. Right. So for this week's the current affairs, any important from your point of view? Quick recollection, what you feel it up. Of course, whatever I feel very important for competitive, I will put forward you. But at the same time, there's a possibility that one or two topics I may skip it. You feel very important, and what you have to do, add to it. Simple, add to it. Okay. Once you consider either from the prelims point of view or from the mains point of view. Okay. So that's what the question one student posed, and I feel that is addressing to everyone is advisable. Plus, always update the information that we have. Sometimes, last week it may be outdated today because of the new facts that arise. Okay, either change of persons. Okay, places may not change. Most of the thing is the persons. Places change regarding the summits and etc., or any events that is taking place. So adding and updating should continue. Okay. Then again, a gentle reminder is that take this current affairs as the revision for our entire general studies and see that your revision should be in a holistic manner. Now back to this week, and as everybody feels this, okay, the Sri Lankan crisis reached its peak, and as per my knowledge, the first time, okay, the president of the country virtually ran away, and the ordinary citizens, the layman, the common man, okay, intruded into the presidential palace and created the havoc. And that shows the intensity of the crisis, nothing more than that. So, before getting into who is responsible for the crisis, what are the reasons for this? Maybe for your exam point of view, you may state 1, 2, 3, 4, right? These are the things happen. But if you observe very closely, only one reason that stands, that is the greediness of the persons at the helm of the affair, nothing more than that. And their greediness is at its heights that they'll take care of their personal rather than the interests of the nation in general. And they are well off, they are comfortable, okay, and they left the country to its mercy. And that is the sole reason, because the recent, last time, the corruption perception index and all the things, you are seeing it. And if you go end up, it's very clear this corruption is at its heights in the developing countries, and that too with whom? Only with the rulers. Okay, a political executive, not even the permanent executive. Okay, the employees, clerk level to officer level, if they assume that they are taken the bribe, say around 10 to 20%, 80% of the bribe is of the persons in power and the politicians. So remaining 20% is only going to the pockets of the so-called, always we criticize the employees. And this unfortunate trend has created this in our way. Then of course, stated reasons are different. Okay, that shows that you are not addressed to the problem, and problem solving is an essential. Okay, and problems are but natural, and you have to share it. And why I'm stating this, you are going to be the future civil servants. In the same case, what your role? The decision making. Decision making is crucial. Where it is crucial? Addressing the issues, addressing the problem, how you are resolving the issues. Problems will come, and that has to become, then only you are there, otherwise no need for your posts and positions. And address to the people issue. Once you address to the core issues at the ground level, instantly, okay, in a both in a micro and macro plan manner, then it will be resolved. Wherever any breaks, then the problems will happen. The other day, one IAS officer, the retired, okay, Venugopal Reddy, the Reserve Bank of India, the governor too, and your Financial Commission chairperson. Which Finance Commission? Venugopal Reddy. Why Venugopal? 14th or 15th? 13th? 14th Finance Commission. So when you have the personal interaction, is simply stating the thing. Unfortunately, the generation level of the confidence and the overconfidence is wonderfully summing it up. Okay, and that same thing applies to the entire rulers as well, and even to the persons while doing it. What's the difference? Confidence over confidence? Only time will tell, isn't it? Today you will feel confident that you will get into the examination, right? Only after this it will know this. Then you will get it. Yes, you are right. If not, array, I am overconfident. I should have done something, blah blah blah. Very difficult to define. And the same thing happened to the nation at the helm of the affair. And the fate of this Gotabaya Rajapaksa happened for this. And this name you have to remember. The first time the presidents run away virtually, wherever the taking shelter is the next question. And even the prime minister too resigned. Was the prime minister? Vikram Singh. Just recently only had taken over, but still resigned. And now all parties has to form a government. That's what they are pondering over. Now tell me what that government is called. If all parties, no opposition, entered into the government and form a issue and not coalition. And we had the example last time we discussed this happened in India in the state of Sikkim. Similarly, in the Second World War and Britain, it happens. Neither coalition nor minority. Coalition is two or more parties come together and form a government. Minority is one single party form a government with the outside support of other parties. It's called as national government. So when you use the word national government, no opposition party is there. Okay, no opposition party. All the political parties which have representation in the parliament will participate in the governing process. They will be in the council of ministers in one form or the another. That means no opposition. Leaders outside the government. No party is outside. And in India, we are the only one state that still we have. Okay, the Sikkim. Recently in RBI examination, that question they posted. Okay, already appeared in the examination. And only this last year, 2021, okay, the Sikkim entered. So when you say this one, the possibility is that, okay, similarly, Second World War, when you're talking about Britain, Labour Party, Conservative Party, mainly two parties together because of the war situation. Okay, so they have formed the national government. So there are occasions here and there without any opposition, they'll form a government, and that's called a national government. Then address the issues. So perhaps that may be the possibility. Now the main issue, of course, addressed to the foreign debt, nearly $51 billion plus it's in debt, and around 6.5 which to the China only. Okay. Now IMF, India, even the China try to recoup everything. Okay, try to help out the Sri Lanka. So let us see whatever is going to be happen. Okay, and once a person start a refugee, another wording may be there, and if that the country granted him, okay, a political shelter, what we called that. And we have the example, for example, Dalai Lama in 1959 when China attacked Tibet, came to India and still in India, we granted political shelter. Yeah, you're right. It's a asylum. Right, right. When Swati also mentioned, right. It's an asylum. ASYLUM, asylum. Granting a political shelter. Who knows it? Okay. Rarely the nations will do. Temporary halt and everything may not be the case is concerned. But forever, whenever your life feels insecure, this stage may happen. Though allegations are there, India only facilitated. That's all next issue. And these are all stated reasons. So we have the external debt, very crucial. Banning of fertilizer imports, decline in foreign reserves, decline in tourism. Of course, that's the main thing because the source of income for them, this pandemic and terror attacks. And of course, COVID-19 is a general reason for everything. Okay. And hike in fuel prices because of this. Again, Russia, Ukraine conflicts that's happening, and where now India has to step in to help it. Then tax cuts, massive tax cuts, and poor economy. Overall, when you say this, is a mismanagement. Okay, where all the factors is not one. Then who are be the mains once you are wrapping, you have to write this one as a conclusion. If at all you may state this, okay, that greediness of the politicians, or you may state as a conclusion, but the exam point of view, you have to state this the simple factors. Need not explain much depending upon your word limits, your time bound. Okay. Yes, these are the factors that contributed, and every possibility of asking in the main examination, even possibility of prelims, that which of the following is the reason, okay, for the crisis, which of the following is a true or false in the prelims, possibility of asking this sort of questions. Yeah. Yeah, there's some minor correction. I think I made it. Swati mentioned the state that, okay, having the national government. It's the Nagaland. Okay, just correct it. So thank you very much for something right. The names, not the Sikkim, is a Nagaland. So the other day we were discussing much of the Sikkim, and suddenly that entered into the thing. So it's a Nagaland is a state, and Nagaland is also special known for one more reason. In the competitive examination they will ask it regarding official language, English, right? Okay, though English is not written as, I mean, part of our 8th schedule, okay, where official languages are there. How many there? 22, but still this Nagaland opted for this. Okay, even like few reasons also sometimes relate to state, you can take a look. Okay, thank you for quick reminders. Then next come to this I2U2. Okay, the last session we discussed I2U2 group is, that is India, Israel, of course is there, US and UAE. Last time we said it's about to form, already formed, and the first meeting also done. Of course, is a virtual meet. Okay, so another quad. Okay, of course, China has not described anything like Asian NATO so far because its stated reasons are very much areas: water, energy, transport, space, health, food, and security. Though the security is also essential, but at the same time, they focused on the 6 important areas. And together wanted to march towards development. So development with mutual assistance, helping each other, because it's something like a win-win situation. This grouping was formed. Okay. And once the meat and I2E2, once the thing is concerned, even for food security, the clean energy, the amount they spend is very clear. Okay, $330 million for clean energy they are doing, and $2 billion they're planning it. That means they aim is to this combining the resources. When the win-win scenario implies that you have something, I have something. It is something like a barter system once we have. What is the barter system? The thing is concerned. I have an excess, you take it, and I need something, you have it, you take it. Of course, now we will apply the same like this exports imports related. But at exports import related, you don't have any commonality. Okay, purely decided in terms of demand and supply. The demand and supply plays a crucial role in export and imports. But whereas in combining resources, here more than a mind works, your heart works. What it means? When the mind, when you're talking about your brain or thinking, all rational thinking will be done, calculation will be done. Okay, for everything you will feel that what I am getting, what I am getting. Okay, we can't call it selfish, that's the need of the hour also, but intensity that matters. But when your heart feel for that, you're least bothered about the calculation. Isn't it? You're least bothered. It doesn't matter. The materials doesn't matter. Doesn't it? And in personal relation, you will find more those things. So out of love and affection, you are doing something. There you never called it anything else. Sometimes no, you can't what you call calculate also on this one. So something like your mother's love, your parental affections. These things, right? Your child's smile. Can you calculate? And sometimes that evaporate your stress also. Okay, stress buster. So recently one student asked, what is stress buster? I just asked any of your neighbors are the children, months old, not even year old child. Yes, is there. Go and spend some time. Okay, your stress automatically evaporates. Okay, okay, isn't it? Just disappears the thing. So you can't even put any calculation on this issue. Okay, then later she came and told me that after a month or 2 months, when the thing is concerned, and that trick works a lot. Okay, so there is a innumerable stress, but and there that's hurt functions, not the mind. And when you wanted to pull certain resources, which is mutually useful, we made it as a combining resources. You are pulling it up, then dividing it. So the nations now, what you call combined both their soft and hard policies. Okay, heart and mind more important. In a way, you are giving Philip your Panchashil principles, 5 principles of peaceful coexistence. Any of you can recollect and remember? 1954 Bandung Conference, India, China. I think every time we say this, apart from the political aspects like mutual respect for each other's territorial unity, integrity, sovereignty, mutual non-interference, mutual non-aggression, those are political. But otherwise is when you call this, and most important, the fourth principle is what? Equity and mutual benefit. So when you say this equity, the equality and mutual benefit, whatever you do it, see that both the nations will get benefit out of it. Not is a one-sided. Okay, when India-China trade relations all one-sided, isn't it? China is least bothered about the plight of India. Okay. Even in America, the similar scenario. They're least bothered about other countries' plights. You may dump them as opportunists, but they consider they are the real businessmen. Their point of view, they are right, our point of view. But when India-Russia relations is different. Okay. So the reason why this relation sustained wherever the heart and mind function. And they want to give this fellow a soft touch, a hurtful touch for this grouping. And with this, the two new initiatives which you have to keep in mind. One is the food parks are coming up because that is the major issue. And money part, UAE is having it, right? Is enough money. We Indians don't have it, but population is there. The demographic dividend, we may call it up, and consumerism, and finally you have to eat whatever you earn. Okay, and that's the part is concerned. The food is an essential, and so they are investing up to $2 billion by the scene of Arab. And here you can understand very clearly because they have the money. Now where to invest? Instead of investing elsewhere, now this country, you invest it. And you will get your return of investments. Okay, the good dividends for it. Always, no, every country is concerned. And we too get benefit out of it. Okay. So our food security concept will be addressed with that. And now the processing industry will get the boost. We have the green revolution, no doubt. At the same time, we have the brown revolution. What is the brown revolution? Hmm? Pardon? Potato now. The potato you wanted to grow or you wanted to eat? Huh? Maybe you're right. Without growing it, without the product, you can't eat it, right? But can you eat the potato as it is? How would it be if you convert that, okay, into a juice, into something else? Okay, you put make cake this now. How the cakes was made most of this? The wheat, okay? Wheat as it is you can't eat, right? A process has to be done. A tomato juice, now the scenario, right? The wonderful it may be, okay? So a processing is essential. By using the technology, okay, so initially why it was called as the brown revolution, because they want to give the fillip to this bakery industry, and most of the wheat is there. We have wonderful, because rice we addressed to some extent. Now the wheat products, the wheat you have to convert into not only chapatis, rotis, and everything is concerned, even to the cakes and others. So you have to be converted. The raw has to be converted to the finished product. In between, a technology will come into the fore. Then it will be done. So the other day we had a cup of chai, we get it up. Then I said, without the milk, how you made it? As it looks like as is the tea, but the milk. So ready mixer, right? And everything, and this way, yes, that is as tasty as it is. So this is a processing, and that's a brown revolution. Okay, though focused on the wheat initially, a food processing has to be done. The raw has to be converted into the finished product. Okay. Then only it will be. Even the milk, for example, once you are taking, it can be stored now even months. Yes, it is. Then the milk can be converted to the powder. Then later it can be used. Okay. So like this, whenever the processing you are doing it up, that's very crucial, and that will address actual needs of the people. Whenever in need, immediately that will be done. So there they made it up, the process. Now in addition to here, the farmers integration India is doing, it's nothing but Raitu Bazaars, right? Farmers are coming and selling the products. But here, when the food processing you are given priority, okay, Instead of you selling it to somebody, directly to the food park you are doing, and that itself is going to be converted and coming. Now the corporate, if at all the thing is concerned, will directly enter into the agreement with this farmers, and now that will be passed on, and possibility of that get reinvested. Even the companies may reinvest. Actually, these are all the concepts existing in our farm laws. Okay, of course, because of various reasons, the farm laws was repealed as against this. Now they are coming in a different format and a friendly format, and more option now to the farm. It's up to them to sell into the market, to sell in the Raidu Bazaars, or to sell. No option has given to when, but the facilitation has done. Okay, so with that, ENOM get more focus. In addition to ENOM, okay, the other day he made it up. What is that project? I'm subject to correction. POP now. POP is a platform of platforms. So when this POP come under this our ENAM, ENAM is okay, E National Agricultural Market. What for that? Okay. National Agriculture, you will get all the information, entirely where the price and everything. Okay. Now ENAM get the Philip will get the boost with the POP, platform of platforms. With this platform of platforms, okay, just 2 days back, Narendra Modi launched this. With this platform of platforms, now you can sell anywhere in India. Farmers can sell their produce in any state in India. Restrictions are done away with. Okay. Agriculture is a state subject. Why center entered? Agriculture is a state subject. Which schedule contains this union state concurrent list? Sure. 7th schedule contains. Agriculture is very much in the state list. Only state can make law. Now, why central is making this? Recently, in the civil century, this question posed. Okay. Of course, the cross. Okay. Once you are addressing something, suddenly they will pose. Rarely they will test the knowledge. Okay. Even is a knowledge, no more than a knowledge question. Do you have the grip, whatever you are talking? That will be tested there. Wherever the interstate issues are involved, center will step in. Simple reason you have to keep in mind. For anything, okay, interstate issues are involved. You may talk about water, you may talk about electricity, okay, etc., etc. Wherever the interstate issues, center will can and have the power to step in. So, as in the state to state trade, that's done it. So, no need for any agricultural laws also. Okay. Plus, we signed already WTO, World Trade Organizations, agriculture related issues. And to implement international treaties, center has the power to do certain things. So they can do. So under this platform of platforms, now they can. And this, the farmers' empowerment will happen with this. Okay. So you are getting, it's not just the food or not just what is that? Okay. Exclusive food park implies your KGF, what is that called? KFC. Okay. All the names is concerned. Not like this. Okay. Now you are integrating with the farmers. So real benefit has to be done to them. And similarly, wherever the Israel expertise, where the Israel expertise, of course, apart from defense, agriculture side, they are good at technology. Deep technology is, we got it from Israel, okay, because they are able to cultivate the food where we feel that it never grows, okay. Now urban farming is coming, right? You can grow it here itself on the terrace and any place, right? You choose it up. These are all, we may say, the root is from this Israel. Okay. So you wanted to give Philip for this one. So like this, you wanted to combine most of the thing. And this is another new project is coming up. Because renewable energy, you heard about hybrid renewable energy. Now you are giving more Philip. Regularly we use the word only renewable energy. What the hybrid now? Combination. Hybrid is nothing but combination. You are combining 2-3 different varieties, isn't it? Hitherto separate, now you are combining. So you are combining what here? The wind and solar. Right now the project. So with that, we wanted to make, right, 400 gigawatts of non-fossil fuel capacity by 2031. Already we are nearby in the process of achieving this target, right? So this hybrid, remember that now the combination of wind and solar. Okay. So initiate project again, the Gujarat, okay, starting with, of course, with the 300 megawatts projects. Later it may be extended to other states. Okay. Hydroponics, saltwater desalination, right? So all those things. Yeah. Then, okay. So there are the two that you have to keep, food parks and the hybrid, right now. Though innumerable issues are there, take care of this one. And when it comes to the India, when it's clean energy targets, 2030 we keep it up. But the reason stated that India achieved clean target 9 years before deadline. So already we achieved it. 2030, why we kept the 2030 as target? Sustainable development goals. Even recently, Sustainable Development they issued some report also, okay? How the progress report. Every year they will issue the report and it was also done. So in this report, it clears this India already achieved it. Okay, what it achieved? In 2015, India committed 40% of energy would be from renewable sources by 2030. Under what? NDC. NDC full form, nationally determined contributions. So with that, 2015 we committed. Why 2015 we committed? Panchamrut recent loan, 2020 it is. So when sustainable developmental goals initiated by the UN, that is as from 2015 to 2030, at that time itself we committed. 15 years we have. 6 years before, I mean just within 6 years, 9 years before, we are able to achieve the target. So every nation will fix itself the target. Nationally determined goals. Like no, sir, and you ask it. And then once you are preparing for your practice test, assume 50 questions are there. How many you will get? How many you need to get? Fix yourself the target first before you are attempting the question. Very important. You feel that 30 I should get. Okay, that is your target. If your guild has 30, you are 100% right. If you got 40, very good. If you got the 20, something you need to ponder over what. The target is fixed by you only, isn't it? So for every practice test, the students need to do that one. Okay, 100 questions. First, before attempting, fix yourself. I need to get this much. Okay, and that is very, very important. Okay, of course, later in the course of time, you have to fix the target before, a day before, a week before, a month before. Okay, while doing this, and once you fix yourself, because you have to committing yourself to yourself only, not to anybody, and you have to honor yourself only, right? So that you will not cheat yourself. Okay, if it was cheating, you are cheating yourself, not anybody. And finally, the benefit of losing is yours. So like this, every nation, once you're doing, is a nationally determined goals, and already we installed 162 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity, which is 41% of this installed. So our commitment is 40, we made it to the 41%. And as 2020 United Nations, what is UOP? Conference of Parties, and it was held in Glasgow. Glasgow is in which country? UK. Okay, the Britain. And there we committed, okay, of course, for 50%. That need to be done it is. So whatever we committed in 2015, that we are able to honor it, and definitely. And this is all the Panchamrit, quick recollection of 26 Narendra Modi. That is non-fossil fuel 500 gigawatts. Okay. Then fulfill this 50% of energy requirements by non-renewable by, okay, overall 50% of energy requirement, non-fossil energy capacity, and reducing carbon emission. Okay, reducing carbon intensity, then achieving the target of net zero. Net zero only different, right? 2017. Okay, this also number of times already appeared in the examinations, recent one. Okay. So with this now, the new quad and possibility that we may move forward. So when the vision and the mission, when the government is making the policies, you have to integrate this like this. Okay, and together we will win. Always, no, the teamwork that matters. Individually, you may have the capacity. Always team that matters. Okay, and only even we advise you to have the group study. Why? You may know one thing and share with the other things. You are enhancing each other, helping each other. Not that you know something you are sharing. If I give to the other person, get okay 1 mark extra. It's nothing like this. Okay, in this world, the more you share, the more you will enhance yourself. Okay, the more your confidence level, the more you get polished, the more your brain get what you call active, energized, then automatically you will get the marks. So focus on this. So similarly, okay, this is Panchamrit, a quick recollection of this. Any doubt? So back to this one. Of course, as the energy issues are making it up, one international issue, again quick recollection, because Russia-Ukraine war is still going on. So Russia recently closed Nord Stream 1 pipeline. That means there are the 2 Nord Stream pipelines. Already the 2 was stopped by Germany itself, the European power. Now even Russia said, so why to supply for you? You stopped one, I stop another. Okay, tit for tat attitude, isn't it? Finally. So from Russia, now the Germany in general, or particular, and Europe in general may not get any gas from Russia. Instead, Russia is giving to the India and other developing countries, even at the throwaway prices if you want. And the net result is what now? European Union is suffering. Prices are increasing by leaps and bounds of those gas related products, petroleum products and all the things. And euro getting weakened. And vis-a-vis the euro is concerned, Indian rupee gets strengthened. Of course, dollar is getting more strength and our rupee value is getting down. Okay, I think it's touched 80 rupees plus, I think. So again, that were very much criticized. Okay, the part, the mismanagement, the financial. So the Nord Stream now connects the Russia and Germany, and the place where the Germany it connects is Greifswald and Wyborg in Russia. It connects that one. So already Nord Stream 2 was stopped. So energy is very crucial, whatever be the source it is concerned. And once you stopped it, then definitely it has the dire consequences. So every nation finally has to ban. So the solution lies in at least now ending the Russia-Ukraine conflict at the earliest. So you have to take the steps towards stopping it rather than escalating it, adding fuel to the fire. Now that's what America and European Union are doing, okay, rather than addressing the problem. So once you put these ego issues aside, then only it is be solved. Okay. Yeah, that's also there. Stated reasons. Always stated reasons are different from unstated reasons. Then, of course, at the same time, when the Indian rupee is getting strengthened, the RBI has took a daring decision. Then why to deal with the dollar? Indian value it is 80 rupee 90 rupee. First of all, why to deal with the dollar? Already the China took this initiative, and China, Russia is dealing with this swap currency we have. So dealing with the local currencies. Why don't you deal with it? Why you are taking always dollar terms for export and imports? When India and Nepal is dealing, our neighbor, India and Bangladesh, what is the need for dollar here? Isn't it? So de-dollarization is essential. So this word of de-dollarization, China is insisting almost for last 10 years. And it has taken the steps towards that. India too, with its neighbors, is playing it. Now with the Russia-Ukraine conflict, wants to tighten the Russia, American and other European impose sanctions. One of the way is it stopped the international financial transactions vis-a-vis with Russia. They stopped, what is that? Shift. What is that shift? So much where? So you are not referring at all. Always repetition is the infallible technique of memory. Nothing else. Okay. Interbank communication system. I can understand this is right, but what the full form of shift? SWIFT. What is the full form? Right. What they mentioned in the Society for Interbank Financial Telecommunication. No doubt, is international transactions depends on the shift. is a platform, a facilitating platform for transactions. Now that with Russia, you may not able to do that. So we have to do something else. Similarly, the other day class we talked about, because now to bypass European sanctions, to establish connections with Russia, with other Central Asian countries, we uh, started utilizing INSTC. What is that? International. I is international. NS north south. Very good. TC transport corridor. Right? Last week we discussed. Now that we are to give this via Iran, we are utilizing this purpose and doing this. No doubt we required some sort of a system. So for that purpose, the RBI come up with the concept. What is that? What that is called? Rupee. Settlement system. So we may use the word, right? This RSS, not Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. Okay. So this rupee settlement system for international trade we added for this. That means now whatever with international related additional arrangements are there regarding invoicing, payments, settlements, exports, imports, you are dealing with Indian rupee rather than global currency. Here, no doubt you are reducing the dominance of dollars and everything, and no need for shift and all the things. You are doing with the platform. This platform we call special INR. INR is Indian rupee, no doubt. Ostro account. So this they inlet this VOSTRO. The special INR Ostro account the RBI initiated. So whenever you use the word Ostro accounts, what they are? They are accounts, no doubt. What they will do? Right. The bank, okay, in India, note just because the Vostra accounts is a familiar word. Those who are not aware, just make note of one sentence. I will just dictate. Vostra accounts are the accounts that a bank in India will hold. Bank in India will hold on behalf of other banks abroad. Simple word. Bank in India hold on behalf of other banks abroad. So, what it will facilitate? Once you are holding on behalf of somebody, what is an advantage? Just write the next sentence. It enables domestic banks to provide international banking services to their clients abroad. Provide international banking services to their clients abroad. Now tell me, for this purpose, RBI's permission is required or not required? It's essential, right? It's required. So the reason why now this facilitation will be done. So approval from Reserve Bank with details of the arrangements has to be sought by the concerned bank. So if at all, for example, Indian importers are there, they will put the amount in this special Vostra accounts, and Indian exporters receive the payments in their INR. So everything in rupee terms. So whether the projects, payments, everything, investments, all the things will be done. And of course, here the FEMA also come into picture. What is FEMA? FEMA? Foreign Exchange Management Act. So that will, everything will be done accordingly. So, and there is a step. And who is this person? The governor of Reserve Bank of India. What's the name? Shakti Dasa. Sure. I'm leaving for you there. Right. Any doubt on this? Then another report you have this Global Gender Gap Index. India ranked 135. So hitherto we are saying how India is projecting in some field. So vis-a-vis with the gender gap. Can we class చూస్తుండాలి అనిపించట్లేదు. Okay. The class, women are dominating in a way. So everywhere else is concerned. But anyhow, still a lot to do. Okay. The comparatively better getting the scenario. And number of other issues you have to take into consideration, including their social empowerment, economic empowerment, okay, then political empowerment, then the job related, okay, education related. So comparatively better, but still a lot to do. And so when this issue the released by is again the important point we have to keep in mind. Who released it? World Economic Forum. Out of 146, this is 135. So almost all from the ending we are very good at it. Okay. And we are behind our neighbors, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka also. Okay. It looks like Bangladesh is far better. Okay. And but anyhow, happy that Pakistan is below us. Always will compare with the way is concerned. And other reports, quick recollection of recent one, World Happiness Report. India stands 136th. Of course, Finland topped. Whereas the press freedom, India ranked 150. There the Norway topped. And global environmental issues, still we are 180th. And world competitiveness part, we are far better now. Okay, 37th. And democracy report is concerned, 53. Okay, there are recent reports once issued. Quick recollection on this way as well. But anyhow, the women, no doubt, though the gender gaps related is happening, there are a number of positive indexes. And recently, one of the report also mentioned regarding the marital age, for example. Women is hardly before the marriage implies 16, 18 years more. Now, 90% of women saying no before 21. So comparatively, both in urban and rural areas on an average, once you are making the thing is concerned. So that itself shows they want to take the decisions on themselves. And the women still playing a crucial role in different parts. And Geeta Gopinath, again the first woman, because whenever the first arises, okay, the future of the wall of the former chief economists. Okay, so in economic field they are making wonderful all the subjects, okay, whether in the software, hardware, humanities subjects, okay, by leaps and bounds they are earning power, okay, they increasing. So And she was the first woman, no doubt, but with the Indians are concerned, second Indian to feature on the wall of former chief economist of whom? Of IMF. Okay, so IMF, International Monetary Fund, because that has to be run on the advice of economists finally. So again concern. And who is the first Indian? Yeah, Raghuram Rajan. First Indian features on this one. Raghuram Rajan name also we heard in some other contest. Reserve Bank of India governor. Then anything linked with our Andhra Pradesh? United Andhra Pradesh. Try to recollect and do this. Then IMF, a quick recollection. How many countries in IMF? 100 and ikkade undi kada antara. Okay, at least able to see where it is. Okay, 100 country, and last country joined is the Andorra. And right now the Geeta Gopinath, the first deputy MD. Okay, of course, who is an MD? Kristalina Georgieva of Bulgaria. This thing is concerned. Okay, and these two, Global Financial Stability Report as well as World Economic Outlook, they are released by IMF. And of course, we have otherwise is IBRD. IBRD is World Bank or IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. These two playing a crucial role, okay, in funding for the development of the world in general. And we call them as Bretton Woods institutions. What are the new Bretton Woods institutions? Which originated virtually to address the reforms of those organizations, IMF and IBRD. New Bretton Woods, BRETTON, Bretton, because they started there. NDB, New Development Bank, nothing but BRICS Bank, that addressed to the IMF. Whatever IMF is doing, BRICS Bank is doing. And whatever the World Bank is doing, AIIB is doing. What is AIIB? Asian Infrastructure Investment, or Asian Investment Infrastructure and Infrastructure. Right. So it's not ADB, it's a NDB, National Development Bank, that is of BRICS Bank we call. ADB is Asian Development. There's a Japan-led bank. Okay, that is not alternative for IMF. What is the currency of IMF we call? Technically called SDR. SDR means Special Drawing Rights, and popularly called as PG. Gold. Which gold? Paper gold. Paper gold is nothing but the currency of IMF. Or SDR, Special Drawing Rights. That's all based on basket of currencies. Okay. Basket of currencies includes American dollar, British pound, Chinese renminbi or yuan. Okay. Okay. This they will take Japan yen. Those four will be taken into consideration in deciding it. Okay. And Gopinath, she also a first female chief economist of this IMF also. So there also point you have to keep in mind. Then of course regarding population, okay, recently World Population Report came up, UN Department, United Nations, and still China top, but only thing is by 20 23 itself, India is going to beat China. So when they compare 90 how much 22, okay, it's going almost all nearby in 22, okay, and 23 is going to cross it, and 2050 once it met, see this, the gap, how much it is, okay, and where US is, okay, forget about other countries, the thing is even Russia is lesser. So at least some record for India in one form or the another, okay, early. There is a concept here, maybe quick recollection of economy, called zero population. What it means? Negative population. The two terms generally asked in our competitive examinations, prelims bits. Zero population implies negative in economics. What it is? Zero means no population. Both the birth rate and death rate are the same at its lowest. Okay, not highest. Death rate is low, birth rate also low. Okay, and the same in a way. What is the negative population? Population is decreasing rather than increasing, and Singapore is the first country which achieved that. Now they are giving award, gold medal, silver medal, who are having more children. Okay, so that will be done. Uh, Negative population it achieved. So birth rate, death rate, when you're comparing, birth rate is still lower than the death rate. Both birth rate and death rate are at its lowest. Birth rate is even lesser than the death rate. And the problem of this zero population as well as negative population is that aged people will increase because health and everything. And the younger generation, the course of time may get affected. The reason why even China is facing this scenario, recently they are done away with even the population control measures. Okay, before one child, now two child, now done away with even that, because the reason is that population may increase, there is a differential, but when the younger generation is less, the productivity will be less. So and to address that issue, we have to make it up. So even a quick recollection on this issue. Then of course, regarding economists, recently the Niti Aayog got the new CEO, but the former CEO Amit Khan was appointed as a new G20 chair. What is G20? Group of developed as well as developing countries, the combination of the developed and developing countries. So India will be represented. Okay, like UN has a permanent representative for every fora you will find, and we call them as Sherpa. Okay. Generally, that implies the torchbearer who will be in the front. Okay, forerunner leads India delegation in all the meetings and everything. One of the reasons for this is India is going to hold the G20 summit when? Okay, 2023, right? So 18th summit is going to be held. So keep that in mind, that implies. How many countries in G20? It is 19 only. Countries are 19 plus European Union. European Union, how many countries? 7. 27. So 19 plus 27, how much? Huh? నేను లెక్కలు ఇంతసేపు ఆలోచిస్తున్నారా? How to add 19 plus 27? Say 19 nearby is 20, 27 nearby is 30, 20, 30, 50 minus 4 and the math. You are minusing 1, then minusing 3. Okay, that is a simple mental calculation. You have to do that. Okay, and one of the small things, this sort of mental calculation, if you do, adding 10 is very easy, right? Okay, 18 plus 7 and 18, 28 minus 3. Immediately you can make it, isn't it? So once you do this sort of mental mind calculation, otherwise we call, advantage for you is your concentration skills will increase. You are sharpening your brain, otherwise you are polishing your brain in this one. Once your concentration skills will increase, your memory linked with that also improves. And the advantage in the examination hall is that you will recollect the thing at that point of time, not after coming out from the examination hall. Okay, so try to do this simple maths in your day-to-day life. Addition, subtractions are but natural. Okay, and simply add 10 minus it when it's nearby to it. Okay, that itself will take care. Then coming to other issues, of course, just now we said India, China related. The other time, yeah, the few minutes. So exports, imports, and trade gap is very much there, and in spite of taking innumerable steps, still Indian imports are reaching a record high on this, whereas exports are coming down. So because of this exports slid, so the trade deficit itself is now by leaps and $47.94 billion. So a great concern for India indeed. Okay. So we have to address this, but helpless. Why? Without people cooperation, we can do nothing. Though we are against China, but Chinese goods means we get tempted, isn't it? For two reasons. One is financial cheap, another is aesthetic look. Look wise, okay, wonderful. Okay, talak talak. So either way, though it looks like short term in a way, but still, so the people's mindset, okay, has to be done. Otherwise, it is. Anyhow, again, China related, a McMahon line. What is that McMahon line? Boundary line between India and China called McMahon line. Then what is LAC? What is that? Which country? India, Bangladesh. India, Pakistan. LAC. China. Then what is McMahon line? Under two lines, two border lines, and you have to say yes. One is de jure, one is de facto. De jure is as per law, as per international accord. Way back 1914, British India, Tibet, China, we entered into. That's a McMahon line. But we have India-China war. Which year? 1962, no, 71, no? 59. India-China war. 1962. 71, which country? With Pakistan regarding Bangladesh, right? So, 62 war, China occupied. What are the two main areas? Aksachin Another, some parts of Arunachal Pradesh. So Arunachal Pradesh, China named it as what it calls South Tibet. Okay, so they said they claim entire Arunachal Pradesh is there. Once upon a time is the South Tibet, so they should get it. So still the claims are going on. So from 1962 onwards, the China is trying to occupy more and more land. That's what we call inch by inch. They are occupying. Inch by inch means I'm standing there slowly, 1 inch I will put this up. You don't bother. Then later I understand. Then after coming here only you will understand. Hey, then I will go back. How much? I stepped in 10 inches. I'll go back 5 inches. Okay, happy? Happy. You lost already 5 inches. That's how the China is occupying, okay, the Indian territory inch by inch. So, and wonderfully in this book it was mentioned the McMahon line, a century of discord, how it be by the retired general, okay, and of course the former governor of Arunachal Pradesh as well, retired army chief. Name of choose control. Okay, let's see. Okay, then of course back to another news on this. Vijay Mallya, the Supreme Court awarded 4 months jail to Vijay Mallya for what? Not for financial fraud, but for contempt case. So many, right? 4 months. Okay. 2000 fine. Huh? So anyhow, anyhow, good enough. Okay, for the contempt. What is the contempt case? Case is different here, and in tune with the law, the court will address it. Okay, it will not, emotions and passions will not play, and no rich or poor person, all are equal before the eyes of law. That's it. Okay. So, what is the contempt? What do you mean by contempt case? So, court has given some order, directions. Once you are not adhered to the directions, not followed or violated the court orders, court has the power to punish. That's called contempt. Okay, power of contempt of court. Okay, so contempt of court means you have violated the court order or you are not adhered to, followed the court orders. Court says means you have to follow. If you don't want to follow, again you have to go to the court. Okay, as many times as possible till all alternatives ends. But still you have to adhere. And here the Vijay Mallya done it. So it was done for that purpose. So that we need to understand, not the thing relating to any other issues. So once he violated, now ask the ministry to take care. But still he is in Britain and need to get him physically to India. What that process we call extradition. Okay. So any person committed crime in India and taken shelter in other country, we cannot, our police cannot go and arrest that person automatically and commit, and that police only has to take care, and that law will enter into, then with the court due permission, that concerned country will hand it over that person to concerned country. So we call that as extradition. So still the extradition process is on, and court asks it to speed up. And of course, regarding financial fraud issues, that will be done. Then another polity issue is Northern Zonal Councils Recently, the meeting was held presided by Home Minister. What is Zonal Council? So India get divided into how many zones? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many zones? Huh? Every zone, all the chief ministers are the members, and Home Ministry is ex officio chair. Ex officio means by virtue of whoever be the Home Minister, he will chair. So that to establish a cooperation, coordination, and to resolve any issues among the states, the zonal council system was introduced. It is a constitutional setup or extra constitutional setup. It's not mentioned anywhere in the constitution. So it is an extra constitutional body. What is the constitutional setup they made? Article 263, I'm subject to correction. Interstate council can be created. That is for a constitutional setup. Of course, whenever need arises, they will create interstate council. What is the article 263? Or I'm just subject to correction. Okay, check it. The thing. So now this was done, and zonal council systems mooted in 1956. So from that onwards, it's going on. Okay, 56. You may quickly recollect the State Reorganization Commission, SRC. SRC was headed by whom? Fazil Ali. What for the SRC? How to divide states on the basis of language. Here, a decision was made way back 1953 when Andhra state was created. Then Fazil Ali looked into. At that time, they suggested so many states advisable to have the dialogue and deliberations and resolve the issues peacefully through negotiations. So with that, the zonal council system, which was initiated by Nehru, was advised and is going. So this is a high-level advisory forum. So the purpose is very clear, to minimize the impact of linguistic hostilities, because at the time these issues are there. So we have to minimize as possible and to create a healthy interstate overall. Okay, because at that time is a state. Even today, the language issues are at its core, even north versus south and Hindi versus non-Hindi issues are there, one nation. So need to be resolved. So for that, you have this organization. Then another polity issue, the political party symbol issues, because the Maharashtra last time we discussed the issue. So Shiv Sena get divided, rebels now form the government. Now they are claiming that they are real Shiv Sena and claiming the party symbol. Then a polity issues arises. Now just because they claim, will they get automatically? Who will the final deciding factor? So here the role of election commission will come into the fore. So allotting the party symbol, recognizing the party, particular party will have the particular symbol. Even the person who is contesting, you should contest on this specific symbol. All this will be done by whom? Election commission. So if you remember this enough, and I'm sure that there are a number of rules and regulations are there, go through that one. Okay. Then another issue, we can say this, the national emblem was unveiled on the roof of new parliament building. So shortly we are going to have the new parliament. What is that project called? New parliament is called as, what is the name? What is that project? Start with V. Vista. And the roof of, you may use the word here, new parliament building. So this Ashokan pillar, right? It was done with Where is this Ashokan pillar? Sarnath. It is near to which city? Delhi or Varanasi? Sarnath. Sarnath is near to Delhi or Varanasi? Kasina. Rendu okatena? Yes, to the Varanasi. Varanasi is in which state? Bihar. Uttar Pradesh. Okay. So, what's the specialities of this Ashokan pillar? Hmm? So, if you make it up, right? So, it's though 3, it's supposed to be the 4, right? 5. So, rolling lines represents what? Authority and the spreading of dharma. Okay. Then the chakra represents cyclic nature of time. And you have, in addition to horse in the west side, the Wangshu. Then elephant also there. And the south that represent the river, right? The Indus. And what are the pillars? Represent this cosmic axis, all those things. Then the bull in the east, lion on the north, another. Okay. Then of course you have the lotus, the below, that represent the murky water of the mundane world. All the things, right? So this is what we call the entire civilization of India, and this built way back by Ashoka in 250 BC. And of course it was destroyed by whom? The Turkish invaders. But still, once in excavation, it was found in 1959, one unearthed. Now we are doing with, and finally India recognized it as a national emblem. When we recognized it as a national emblem, hmm? When we recognize this as a national emblem, hmm? January 26, 1950. We recognized it. The day the constitution came into force, so government of India adopted this as a symbol. What is the slogan mentioned there? On slogan also they mentioned, right? What is that? Satyameva Jayate. From where it was taken? Satyameva Jayate. Ah, right. Mundaka Upanishad. It's a Devanagari scripts. Even when the 3 lines, the visible 3 lines, they said power, courage, confidence, they stands for. So is the because Ashoka once he converted to the Buddhist part, so Buddhistic life, non-religious interpretations was given to this version. Though wheel in general, in addition to time, it represents the enlightened. Okay, part is concerned. That's the thing. Now coming to this central parliament building, that's called as Central Vista. VISTA. Central Vista project. So almost all it coming to the very close. Okay, recently when we started overseas, okay, I think by 1-2 years it will be over, and very near to the Rashtrapati Bhavan and present Parliament. Who designed present existing Parliament and Raj Bhavan, Rashtrapati Bhavan? In the number of times in GK questions, huh? Yeah, Edwin Lutyens, Herbert Baker. This two. So almost all it looks like 3 times bigger than the present one. Okay. Then one more Gati Shakti University came it up. Gati Shakti is actually the pilot project. First time a university was named after the project. So university approved the upgradation of National Rail and Transport Institute, National Rail and Transport Institute, NRTI, that will be now upgraded and named it as Gati Shakti University, because PM Gati Shakti is a master plan multi-modal connectivity project. So this is where this NRTI again in Gujarat. So everything is in Gujarat. Okay. So the skills they are giving more priority. Then of course Gujarat, one more thing happening, the 36th national games are also happening in Gujarat. So from September, October, national games will take place in Gujarat. Then of course one more, the Ganguly again in the news. It was facilitated by the British Parliament. So as the British Parliament facilitated, maybe for the competitive purpose, advisable to make note of it. Then World Youth Skills Day, 15th July, because every person has to learn a skill, one thing or the another. Then that will become a livelihood. Okay. Of course, may grow anything. So skill day, special focus on this. Then regarding science and technology, we have the new boarding IS4OM. This is nothing but, okay, system for safe management. So 4 for fun, right? When you use the word. So Indian Space Research ISRO, when they developed this system for safe and sustainable operations management. OM is operation management. IS for all ISRO. I stands for ISRO's system for safe. All symbol they use the word. Okay, ISRO's system for safe management. So I mean here this ISRO will come into the fore, and here the system for safe system it is concerned. So this, the purpose is very clear: protecting the growing number of satellites from the risk of collisions in space. So traffic jam may take place there too, because so many things is concerned. So you need to provide, and to provide this traffic solution at the space, you have is for ohm. IS, okay, is for ohm. Then of course Gaganyaan test is taking place, and crew aboard mission. They are planned to launch, and successful flight now is going on in the issue. Then INS Vikrant. What is INS Vikrant? It is Navy's first made in India aircraft carrier. So made in India is very important. So it completed 4th phase of sea trials. Then of course sports, recently the Wimbledon champions, the men's, women's title winners, okay, Novak Djokovic and as well as Rybakina get the minutes. Then last one, when is this Uttarakhand became the first state in India to implement an EP at pre-primary level. What is an EP? National Education Policy at the pre-primary level, means starting level. What is they called pre-primary now? Balavatikas. Okay. And this is nothing but during our childhood we used to attend called Balwadi in Telangana. We named it Balwadi. Of course, now it is not existing. Now you are calling as nursery. Okay. Okay, nursery, LKG, UKG. Now at the time no KGs. Balwadi includes all these three: nursery, LKG, UKG together. Then later you will enter to first class. Okay. So now that same Balwadi system, which existed in Telangana at that point of time, the name now become Balavatika under new educational policy. And Uttarakhand, the first state, okay, once they initiated the process. Okay. And last one regarding Andhra Pradesh, it has rejoined. So once upon a time, rejoined implies it has left. Now it rejoined in PM's Fasal Bima Yojana. Fasal Bima Yojana is relating to crop insurance. Okay, now it back. So in 2020 only they left, citing these higher premium prices. Now they understand whether higher or lower premium prices, finally they had to pay it more to the farmers and added this, and state government fund starving for everything. The central fund they are using as if like a state funds. So the Andhra government has adopted this and back to one. Right. So that's all for today. So any doubts, clarifications? Okay. Right. Nothing? Right. Thank you very much. So see you next week.